널 기다렸어.
Welcome, everybody, to the StarCraft 2 Star League Season 2 of 2016. My name is Valdez. With me is Wolf tonight. He's gone full nerd, guys. He's got the glasses on,
I have like
beard.
I have a really shiny forehead today, too, for some reason. But, like, I guess I'm channeling my inner Caldor, because tonight's going to be one of those broadcasts. We have 30 best of ones coming at you guys. So it's basically 15 best of twos, but we're just kind of dragging it into 2 full 15-game round robins. So every player will play against every other player twice. Each player has designated a map they want to play against their opponents. So there's home maps and away maps. And you actually, your winning on the away maps is worth more points than winning on your home map, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't feel bad, because it's a really complicated format.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got it up there on Wikipedia, but we'll do our best to explain it to you guys as we go along. Essentially, you want to win on the map that you don't pick. Obviously, you want to win on the map that you pick as well, but it will be better for you if you can win on all your maps, obviously, but a little bit better for the away maps. So we got a long day today. We're starting at 1 p.m. KST. Make sure to get your friends here in the stream if you're one of the Passion watchers who are joining us right at the beginning. Make sure to tell everybody to get in here eventually, because we're going to be on all day.
And all night, potentially. Yeah. It's going to be... It's been predicted. I predict a 10-hour broadcast. Kanata said he was thinking probably 10 to 12. I'm thinking we're somewhere in there. Because the format is so complicated, though, it's actually very unlikely that we will have tiebreakers in any of these matches. And this is going to be every Thursday, starting today, for 4 weeks to determine all of the regular season Star League players.
Yeah, and we were actually at your house one night. We were going over all of these groups and trying to decide who we thought would get out of all of them. Obviously, very strong groups if you look at all of them, but Group D definitely stands out as a big one. You got Zest, Maru, Hero, even Losira's all right. You know, reality has shown some decent games at Pro League. Super's, you know, kind of in there as the dark horse.
Yeah, I'd say for me, looking at these, I think Group D and Group B are the best. Group C is decent, and Group A today, you know, I feel like there could be some upsets, but when you look at it, like TY most likely going to get out of the group. Sue, very high chance, especially considering his performance yesterday at the GSL. And I'd say Trap or Bomb are likely to come out, but when I look at Cure and Hush, I'm like, okay, we'll see. Also, Cure did go very far in the last season of the GSL, but Star League historically has not been his tournament, and he's not very used to these big, long group stage formats.
Yeah.
So this is something that we used to only have in StarCraft 2 in the old GOM TV studio, the up and down match to decide which players would go to Code A and Code S. This is basically the same thing, because Code A is no longer really a tournament. It's actually just a stepping ground. And we've decided to make this, rather than just one best of 5 to determine your future, it's actually a group. So it's better for the players, but if you hate playing long, grueling days playing, you know, each player has to play like, I don't even want to do the math on that one, like 9 games or something like that. It's like a lot of games, okay? There are 30 games in total played tonight.
Oh, we got the most passionate StarCraft 2 fan here coming down here right at the beginning. Happy to have him down here, although he does not have the headset.
Yeah, he needs to get one.
He needs to go get one. If you guys, you can come down to the studio. We say this every single time. It is free to get in here. So you could just come on down, you get an English headset, and you can listen to us while you're in the studio. So.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So before we get into this at all, I want to mention that, and I said this earlier on Twitter, and I'm going to probably mention it again later on several more times, this broadcast and all the broadcasts for this tournament where we have 30 games. Obviously, it's just 2 of us. The Korean commentators are 3 of them, and they're even going to be switching out halfway through. We're not doing any of that. Well, we're just we're going coasting all the way through this. So it's going to be a pretty casual broadcast. We're going to be taking this pretty chill, just like when Moonglade, you and I did the qualifier streams of the Star League in the past.
No TriCast this time around, but definitely going to be more laid back. And here is our first player of the group. It is Cure. He said he's not exactly the strongest contender for this tournament specifically, but he's doing pretty well this year. You know, he's come back a little bit into his form, you know, getting some better results. You can see he did get to the round of 4 of the Season 1 of the GSL.
Yeah, now he lost a Symbol actually in the qualifiers. We beat him, as well. So like, he lost him to beat him again in his final match to actually get out of the qualifiers. And that's like something that's pretty worrying, right? Symbol hasn't had, he hasn't posted results in a really long time. Now Trap, I think, is one of the players to watch out for in this group as well as in this tournament. I've been saying it all year long, and I'm going to keep saying it. Jenner won the round 2 of Pro League, and I think they have the strongest team by far right now, the strongest team in Korea, and of course by proxy the world. And Trap is one of these players that will surprise you, and everyone is getting so good on that team right now. The level of play in that team, even the past 2 months, has risen so high that you can only expect a player like Trap will be going up with it.
Yeah, I mean, when we were looking at the groups, you were saying that Trap definitely a favorite for you, even over Sue at this point. TY and Cure looking good to get out of the group, but looks like we're going to jump into game number 1 here, guys, of 30 that we are going to have today. This is Cure's home map. You can see that by the H there, and obviously it is Trap's away map. So, looks like we are going to get into that in just a moment here. The map is Dust Towers.
That's right. Now, we don't know how many delays there could be today. We have 6 player setups, so anything could happen. But guys, let's go ahead and jump into game number 1, Trap versus Cure on Dust Towers.
Here we are on Dust Towers down here. In the bottom left, the red Terran, it is Cure.
And up here in blue, his opponent, Generic Green Wings as well, it is Trap. Historically speaking, by the way, as I'm going to bring up a lot of old references, it's always the team kills that get played first in these matches because they want to avoid the deciding match is being played by teammates in order to discourage any sort of collusion, basically.
I mean, our first game is Trap versus Cure, and then our second game is Cure versus Trap. So we're going to be doing these 2 games right in a row as they are on the same team, and you can expect the same thing in future groups if we do have 2 players on the same team, which I believe we do have.
Yeah, there's a few of them. And yeah, so every other match, though, in the first 15 will be their first best of 1, then they'll play the second one in that second match on the other map. So everyone has a home map and away map, and how we didn't have any graphics about this or anything, and this is, I know, like one of the most complicated formats of all time. So I just want to kind of break it down for you guys, because this game is just the first of 30. The top 3 players will advance to Star League. Basically, this is Challenge, okay? This isn't really even Star League. It's Star League Challenge, but it's Challenge. The top 3 players will advance to Star League.
Try to get into the round of 16, which is basically where it all starts, the real tournament.
Exactly. And the top 3 players will be decided by their wins first, and then if there's a tie on that, their wins on away and home maps, away maps being worth more than home map wins, and then after that, warnings. So there's all that. And the only player to currently have a warning is actually Hush, who submitted his home map incorrectly, and so has a warning. But no points, just like that's only the 3rd determining factor. And because of all these, very unlikely we'll have any ties. But look at this Proxy Robo.
And this is really interesting because I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this because it's basically a best of 1 on your away map. So it's like, if I can just do a best of 1 cheese build and take a win on my away map, that would be fantastic. It's not like he's throwing away a game in a best of 5 series by going for a big cheese. This is actually a really cool idea. And I definitely think we're going to be seeing a lot of it. So it is going to be a robotics facility proxy. And Cure is actually going for 3 CCs very early on. So a bit of a greedy build here.
And we'll see how this plays out. It's not. It's a proxied robo for sure. Like, it's a lot closer than it would be if it was in the main, but it's not like at the, it's not below the 3rd base or anything like that. It's going to be a warp prism. And that means probably going to see some gateways popping up here in just a second. We're going to see some really hyper-aggressive adept play. A Cyclone is coming out for defense and safety. There's the 2 gates. And that Cyclone's control is going to be so key. If he kills the Warp Prism, he basically defends this, and he's going to have 3 CCs.
Yeah, but at the same time, if Trap can drop those Adepts into the main, and you can see he's already got about 3. Yeah, he's got 3 exactly. So once he starts warping those in, he's even going to make Immortals with this. And if he can get onto the high ground or at least bust the front, he's going to do a very nice job against the units that Kier has because of his greedy build.
This is such a goofy all-in that we're seeing. 5 gateways being added, so he's going for 6 in total. And this will probably, I'd say, he might start another Immortal, but he's going to be hard-pressed to afford 6 gateways worth of production with another Immortal. Might even just leave it at just the 1. And look at this, eBay is going up back at home. Kier is teching. He might be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Kier hasn't scouted this at all. He hasn't even sent out an SCV from what I can tell, unless it died early on. So here we go. The Adepts are walking across the map. First warping as well of 3 more Adepts. So he's got 6 and an Immortal. Looks like he's just going to go straight for the front.
Yeah, it looks that way. And one Observer coming out as well, going to help spot any Widow Mines he might encounter, although it's just the Cyclone coming out of that factory at this point in time. He only has 35 workers, so this is very all-in. He needs to basically kill Kier at this moment in time. There's no way that if Kier even survives this, he wins the game, basically. He's got Stim coming up, he's got +1 coming up, 3 CCs worth of SCVs and Mules. Here we go. Here comes the all-in. He's shown the Immortal and the Adepts.
I don't think there's any way that Kier holds this at this point. There's so many Adepts that have already been made, and the supply depot goes down. And look at Kier's Peony Army. Stim is a million miles away.
Yeah, Cyclone already starting to micro here, but it's not doing much for him. Look at this, 6 more Adepts warping in, and I think that will actually just seal the deal. All he has to do is kill the Cyclone, and the Adepts, with no Stim on these Marines, will never lose to the Marines. No way. Even the Cyclone is just basically being ignored at this point in time. The Immortal coming up on the right side will take it out, and that's the first game. GG.
Wow, quick one to start the night, and a really nicely executed build by Trap. Kier had no idea it was coming, was not able to see the proxy, was not able to get a scout. And Kier, just going for a very greedy build, gets punished. So that's going to be an away map win for Trap. So very, very important there.
Yeah, that is indeed very important. And, you know, expect to see a lot of all-ins and cheeses. But that was especially like the big cheese because you know you're going to play against your teammate first because that's how this format works. So he's the only player who actually knows who his first opponent is. And he's prepared for a long time for this. The group's been released for a while. It's a best of 1. It's his teammate. It's like, sick move. I mean, I'm big on it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So we are going to be getting into game number 2. And as we said before, it is going to be Trap versus Kier. Again, because we do want to avoid any shenanigans if these guys are close to getting out of the group and they have their games towards the end. So just going to play them both here right at the start.
Yeah, I'm pulling a little bit of Caldor today. I'm going to try to keep track of all these games for you guys. I keep mentioning this because Caldor was actually the person who kept me sane through the up and down matches back in the day. I'm like, who am I missing? Okay, I got Hush. I'm just keeping